Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Sharon and this is going to be part 4 of my deck collection. And this one is going to be Myths and Legends. So these decks, a lot of them don't really function as normal tarot or sometimes tarot at all, in my opinion. So let's get started. So the first one is the Vampire Tarot by Robert M. Place. And it comes with this book. And this one is fairly readily available out there. I see it a lot on eBay. And for approximately $100, $125. So it's not terribly out of print expensive. And I found this amazing bag for the cards. Perfect. And those are the backs, and it is square edged, square corners. And it is more oracle size than tarot size, and glossy. Not terrible glossy, but glossy, and pretty flexible cardstock. So we're gonna do some pairings. Well, actually, let's talk about this. So this deck is very pippish, kind of pips with feelings, but pips with Dracula feelings. And then the court cards are people either from the story or and the majors, or people adjacent to the story. And the book is pretty good about it's a very good read. I read this whole book, and I rarely read a whole guidebook because this one is kind of the story of Dracula, which is cool. So you will see a lot of these cards, but you see what I mean about being pippish. Okay, so I only have one oracle, and that's the Oracle Magicus. And I think in part because I have a hard time with these story type tarot decks. Read them as straight tarot. Read them more as a story, which to me leans more towards being an oracle. But this one works. And this is, of the decks in this video, this one is more tarot-like. Which is what, in general, I have a hard time with fandom decks, I think, because I get more caught up in the story and I have a hard time reading it as straight tarot. But I think this pairing works. It's, of all of my oracles, it's the only one I think that works anyway. But I do have 2 tarot that I think really go well with it. So let's do those. So the first tarot should come as no surprise. It's the Bohemian Gothic. And as far as aesthetic and the world building, these feel very complimentary and very Halloween-y, very fun. And so we have garlic flowers instead of coins or pentacles. And then stakes instead of wands, and I think they're just called blades instead of swords. And I forget what cups are. We'll run across a card and then we'll see what it is. But I think these complement each other in a reading. Oh, it's knives. I think I said blades and it's knives. And that's a cup. But I still didn't say what they are. Those look nice together. That seems like a good place to stop with this one. And then the other tarot is the Moon Power, which surprised me because it seems like very odd that these would go together. There's something about it. They're dark and moody. I just think they feel very fun together. And the colors, I think, really work. All the black. I wish we would find one of the quirk cards for the cups so we can see what the heck they are. It just kind of feels like modern day witchy goth girl meets Dracula. Feels almost like this combination feels like What We Do in the Shadows. Is that the name of it? I think I don't know. I just love this pairing. Maybe I'm the only person. I don't know, but I do. I love it. I want to find... I mean, it feels like these could be Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something coming to slay all the vampires. All right. Come on, cups. Come on, cups, court cards. Holy water. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, so this we're going to look at is the Arthurian Tarot. So this box is for this older edition with the white borders. The one you can get now has these black borders, and the older one came with a little white book, which I think is very cool. I had to buy the HalloQuest book for this one separately, and this one, the newer one, comes with the HalloQuest bigger book, but I kind of prefer the white borders. But I have both, so I thought I'd do kind of a side-by-side with the oracles in the middle. And this first one is the Old Ways Magic by Naomi Kornock. And this is the newer edition of it, so it has more cards than the older edition, which I also have. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Anyway, I think this goes fantastically with this deck. And I prefer the cardstock on this older one. It's a little thicker. This just isn't as nice of a cardstock, this newer one. Those look fantastic together. Yeah, this looks so good with this. And this does, again, this is not function as a normal tarot. This is, I don't know, more of, it's kind of like the Wildwood Tarot is. And that, I think, in that way is the closest I think I can compare it to. It's technically tarot, but it's the HoloQuest. It's more designed as working with the cards through the year kind of a thing. Okay, so that is the Old Ways. And then we have one that is a French oracle. Where's the book? I have it here. So it's this one, the Oracle de la Sagesse, I don't know, Galoise? I don't know. Probably put people's teeth on edge trying to pronounce that. So the whole book is really, really cool, but it's all in French. So one of my master projects is to translate that thing. And I may or may not put keywords in English on these cards. Don't know, this is a project I keep putting off because I'm not entirely sure what I want to do to make it usable for myself. And as far as I can tell, the cards just have the name of whatever is in the card on it. Imbolc is not hard, but I don't know what that is. I'm going to guess that's honey. I think that's honey. I feel like that's honey. Might be bee. Anyway, I think it's a really good pairing. I just need to buckle down and do whatever it is I'm going to do with these cards and guidebook. And the next one is, where's the book? It is The Mists of Avalon, which makes total sense. And I really like this oracle in particular because of the 4 keywords around it. So you can, you know, do a spread of a card and position on all 4 sides, which I think is a cool thing. Chariot. Do you like this one? But of course, these go well together because they are both the same theme. And I think they look nice together. Okay. Okay, and this one is an out-of-print oracle. It's called the Celtic Oracle. It's by Nigel Pennick and Nigel Jackson. And I'll give you an example of what you see in here. It's not very many cards. I'm not sure, it's 20 something, I think. And it's from 1991. And this one works really well with it too. Weaving Sisters. Oh, and those are the backs. I think I love those backs. And the hollows are the aces. Okay, and this one is the Celtic Shaman. I think it's called the Celtic Shaman's Pack. P-A-C-K. It's an example of what's in the guidebook. Probably couldn't even read that. It's probably out of focus. Anyway, this one, the artwork is by Cheska Potter, the same person who did the artwork for the Greenwood. So if you're familiar with the Greenwood, you will recognize this style. But I think it is very complementary to this Arthurian Tarot. Those look really good together. There's a lot. Like unpacking when there's synchronicities between the cards. The Father and the Taliesin. Yes, these work. Okay, and this one is the Runic Tarot by Carolyn Smith and John Estrop. And I think this is another one you can still find on eBay fairly easily. It's called the Runic Tarot. It's not a tarot. It doesn't even have the same number of cards. It doesn't function like tarot at all. It's got rune cards. It's got Pagan Wheel of the Year cards. But I think that it works well with this. And I like that it has the keyword down here, so appreciation. So you could just use that, or you can go off of more that you know about Beltane and the third week of May, and however you work with things. If you, astrology, if you're into that. Extreme craze, fun. Of all of these, this isn't, I don't think, the best pairing, but I think it is a very fun pairing. So those, and staying on that same theme, we have the Tarot Arthurien by Claire Duval, illustrated by Arthurian. And I think we all are aware of this. It's a French guidebook. It would be a huge project to translate. I really, really, really hope they come out with this in English, because I really want to know what that says. And using my phone to translate it is a pain in the neck. So it's a box in a box thing. So I have it in this box. There's a bigger box, which I just have stored away. And gilded, those are the backs. I'm sure we've all seen this so many times, because it's a beautiful deck. And this one really does function more like regular tarot. Okay, so we're going to see some of the same. We're going to see the same ones, just a subset. So this is Old Ways Magic. Oh, I don't want to show the same cards over again. Let's do that. There we go. Love this Ace of Cups. All of these cards are very slippery. So yeah, I see the Six of Wands. Four of Coins. It's a little different, right? But close enough. Close enough that I can work with it without having to read the guidebook and have it be is enough of a story. But it's still a story in here, so obviously Six of Coins. It works. Okay. And then the other one I think goes well with it is the French I think this one goes better with this. Colors match better. The artwork is closer. I like Old Ways with it, but this one feels sometimes a little too samey for me, but it's okay. Yeah, I like it. I really need to do something with this oracle so that it's more usable for me. Okay, and then the last one is the Celtic Shamans pack. After going through this, I really think I need to get that French one in a state where at least I have figured out what the keywords are, and I put them on the card or write them in English somewhere so I have them, because that was the best pairing. Okay, and this one is the Forgotten Legends by Velga North. Velga North. It's there. It comes with a little white book, a little black book. It's in, I don't know, so Russian, Slavic, some Slavic language. Anyway, because I can't read it. But it does have a English PDF guidebook. that I have. And this is not out of print yet. I've seen it. You can still get it somewhere. Actually, the one I saw online when I was checking is gilded, and this one is not. I got this, I forget, some Russian or Ukrainian or something website. So I only have 2 decks to pair with this. We'll go with the first one, which is Mists of Avalon. So the stories in this, from what I can tell just looking at through the pictures on the cards, are not all necessarily Slavic or Russian in nature. I mean, I feel like this is Little Red Riding Hood. It could be wrong. I don't think the guidebook specifically talks about every card and what legend it may or may not be. But there's I think it's the Ace of Swords. Looks very much like the something out of Arthurian. But I feel like that these look good together. Yeah, I'm going to hold this aside because if we run across that card, I want to show you how similar those two are. But I think these look really good together. I think this works. And this one functions pretty well as a tarot on its own. That's why I'm saying I don't know all the stories behind it, because I don't really look, because it works as tarot. Really love this Lover's card. I don't want to show a lot of the cards. I only have 2 oracles I'm pairing with this, so I might spend a little more time on it. This is a lovely deck. I will endeavor to remember to share the link to where you can get this deck, because I believe it is going out of print. And the cardstock is very, very nice. It's kind of a chunky deck. It's thicker cardstock, so it's going to hold up. Those are the backs. I feel like I showed them, but anyway. So I don't know if this is showing up very well. Come here, 3 of Swords. But there is a woman behind the birdcage with the... And we've got some constellation. I don't know which one there. So let's look at the other oracle, which is Woodland Wardens, which I think looks really good with it too. Success with the Wheel of Fortune and 4 of Pentacles. Very nice. And we have these gold foil highlights on the cards. But I think these look very nice together, and the borders are almost indistinguishably the same. That was a tongue twister. Love this death card. Unicorns, so pretty, so pretty. Okay, now I just want to find that. There we go. Okay, so that's Forgotten Legends. Okay, so this is Slavic Legends by Tarot Studios, yes. I also have the bigger edition of it, which is Rose Petal, but it's big. And this is the one with a UV coating, so it's more glossy and has the gold. There's also one with black edging, and it's Rose Petal, I believe, and I don't know if the backs are the same or different. They tend to make the backs different on the smaller editions. So this one functions pretty well as just a straight tarot. There is a an online PDF that they have that only explains the legends in the majors. And then they're going to release something in the future for the minors, but it says it's just going to be basically regular tarot. So there's hardly any point in it, really. And the first one is the Green Witches Oracle deck. And I think it works really well with this. This is a very earthy deck. So the small edition has just the one devil. The larger edition has an alternate devil card. So just I think these look so good together, and they work so well. I love having the 3 keywords down here because you can use it as a spread. Feel it's very complimentary, and this is a little bit darker artwork, so I like that it brightens it up with this white. I don't feel like it's too contrasty. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay, and then the other pairing is a darker one. It is Flowers of the Night. This one by Sherilyn Darcy. And I think this one works really well too. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so this is Odin's Playbook, a Norse tarot. And this one, there's runes on most, if not all, of the cards. I can't remember now. 2-part box, that's the inside. Those are the backs, and it's edged in a matte blue. And it comes with this extra rune card and a little white book. And as you can see, there's a fair amount for each card. These are the minors, and there's a fair amount. And so we have axes for swords, horns for cups, staves for wands, and what are rings for coins. The first one is Connected and Free. And I think this is coming out in English. It's definitely out in French. And if I didn't have it in English, I would be fine with it in French, because with oracles I rarely use the guidebook. And you can suss out what they say. The only thing that kind of puts me off with this deck is that how the court cards are done in this very different style than the rest of the deck. I don't understand the choice there. And it's very, very bright colors. Oh, and the court cards are renamed. Chieftain would be king. We had, we just looked at one. Shield Maiden. It's queen, I think. Or maybe it's knight. Poet is definitely page. I don't know, now that I've said all that, I should look it up. Let's look real quick. Where's the little guidebook? Here it is. Poet is page, shield maiden is knight, chieftain is queen, and ruler is king. Okay. Yeah, see, that's confusing to me. So shield maidens are knights. That makes sense. Just the chieftain thing. But I think these look good together, and I think they work. See, we have the little rune. Okay, so the ruler is female. Is it that way in all of them? I don't know. I feel like I'm just saying stuff and just making it. No, this ruler is male, so. Okay, there's a lot of pink and purple sky going on there. I think that's a good place to stop. And the other one is going to be soul cards. Soul trees. Wow. What is happening to me? Here we go. Oh, we got all this purple and blue. That looks nice. Magic. It feels magical. Yeah. I like this with it too. I might like this with it a little more than Connected and Free, but Connected and Free works. I think this is an extra card, an extra major. Obviously, this is because I rambled and said incorrect things. I don't use this deck much, and one of the reasons is I hadn't really bothered to find a pairing. Which is one of the things, one of the exercises I'm going through for these videos is finding pairings for decks that I haven't been working with. Okay, and this is a very recent deck from Jonasa Joust. I've heard it pronounced many different ways. I'm going with Jonasa Joust for now. And this is the Nemeth Tarot. And I haven't broken the seal on it. And this is Galatian. Is that how you say that? Myths, stories. It is pretty chunky, and they're taller than regular tarot, but they're very flexy. So I can ruffle shuffle this, but I have giant man hands. So this one is harder for me to function as a tarot because a lot of the imagery, some of the imagery follows along pretty well, tracks for me. And some of the imagery, it doesn't work for me. And while the creator is working on a, not specifically guidebook, but at least the stories behind the cards, it's not available yet. And so this one is a little bit of a struggle for me. This is Wisdom of the Sacred. And I think these look so nice together. So it comes with this card that explains what each of the suits are. So Kunchas, I'm guessing at how to say that word, is coins. Stillness with the Four of Swords and the Six of Swords. So okay, see here the Six of Swords, not the same. It's a very nice card, it's just not the same. And I'm not even sure if this is supposed to follow. It seems from the imagery, for the most part, it's supposed to be following RWS very loosely. Oh, those are the backs. I didn't really show them. Those work for me. Three of Swords, that makes sense. But then this one is the Two of Wands. Yes. And so different again. And then on the bottom is the name of the story, or the name of the character from the story. I looked up a few of them. So you could do your own research should you desire to. But I think these go together really nicely. This is just another one I'm going to have to figure out how I want to use it. And I tend to just, decks like this, do a one card pull if I have a guidebook that explains what's going on the card, so that I can, because there's a lot of reading, and if I do more than one card, then that's just a lot of reading. Evil eye with the devil, and he's got evil eyes there. And then the Seven of Pentacles. See, this looks like Christmas to me. I'm not sure I understand that there, but okay. Okay, and then the other one, because we only have two, is Soul Trees again, just the regular one. Mermaid there. If it's got a mermaid, you've got me. Yeah, I think the Wisdom of the Sacred works better with this than this does. I think this is okay. Guidance with, and this, so this is the Fool. Those look nice together. Guidance with the Fool and the Two of Coins. Okay, and this is Mythologia Fennica, and this is the indie edition. It's out in mass market now. Rockpool or Hay House, I think Rockpool. And I have a video where I do a side-by-side of the two of them. I prefer this indie one, so I'm so glad I have it. The books are very close to the same. This one is much taller, and it's on a different kind of, it's not very nice paper. This one does have a bit more, but the other one is fine. So it goes through the whole Mythologia Fennica story, which is the Kalevala. The Kalevala. Yes, 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 yes. I am not Norse. Somewhere in here it says that, the Kalevala. Finnish folklore. And so you kind of can see there. And you can get this mass market now. There are some differences, so this is on, those are the backs. I forget what the backs on the other one look like. I think the backs are prettier. And it's on like Make Playing Cards smooth cardstock. We have a lot of pairings for this. Okay, this first one is Old Ways Magic, and already see how nice they look together. So the suits are indicated by these circles here. So you have air, fire, earth, and water. So the green is earth, and the air and water are both blue, but air has like little snowflakes in it. So this is a water. So this is the Ace of Cups. And this is the Four of Pentacles. So this one functions much less like a tarot again. This is more like a study / storytelling deck. But I just think these look really good together again. Those just look fantastic. the colors, and so I did have to, for the court cards, write on them what they are, because they just have in the circle instead of, I really wish they had in one of these circles put something to indicate which court card it is. So this one is water and this one is fire, but yeah, I think these are nice together, these two. Different cultures, but I feel like they're very complementary. So then we have a mass market one, which is the folklore. Well, and I did write on it the keyword because they just had the name of whatever folklore was in the card, but then in the book they had the keyword, so I just grabbed that keyword and wrote it on the cards. And it's a little warped, kind of that cattywampus warp, so that's why they're rocking. I think this one works too. These are folklore from all over the world. But they're more of the primitive art style, both of these, I feel like, so they feel like they complement each other in that way. And as you saw in the guidebook, there is so much for each card. This is more of a one card pull kind of a deck. Okay, so that's that one. And then we have the Revolution Oracle, and this one seemed weird, but I just feel like it works somehow. Freedom written down there, if you couldn't see it. Again, I think maybe because of the more primitive style. Okay. What else have I got? Soul Trees. The Soul Trees Ascension. So yeah, this is the air. I don't know if, hopefully you can see that. It's got like little frost in the little bubble there. So you have the 9 of Swords and the 3 of Cups with beliefs and expectations. And then for some reason, this 8, so this is the 8 of Fire. If they did it this to, you know, IIX, it's the only card that's like that. There's some quirkiness in it, which they worked out in the mass market version, but I kind of like the quirks of it. Okay, we still have more, so. Then we have the Celtic Shamans pack again. That's why I feel like it works, even though, again, very different culture. But I feel like even across cultures, there's so many similarities that it translates. And that's a lot of fire right there. So I think that's a good place to stop, because I think that looks great together. So that's okay, and this is the Dark Goddess Tarot. This is the mass market version. And I'm sure I'm too close for that. But anyway, that's the guidebook. It is another deck that really doesn't function very well as tarot for me, because again, it's just like so much reading for any one card. So it's more of a one card pull kind of a deck. And this is the Valletta Oracle. It's like the only oracle I could find that I even thought paired with this. And this Eight of Fire, and that works for me. This Four of Pentacles, I don't know, it's not... I would have to read the book to see how does that fit. The Callie for the Tower works. The Strength card, that one works. Six of Wands, Six of Fire. So again, yeah, it's an adventure. I really like it, but like I said, it's just more of a one card pull. And maybe an altar card and thinking about it. And this is okay with it. If I were to ever use it as a regular tarot, I would use this with it. For Judgment, Persephone works. Okay, so then we're going to segue into the Mythic Tarot. So this is the book for it. I actually have two copies of the book. I have the one that came with the deck I have, but it's the older black one, and the cover comes off. So then I just found secondhand for a few bucks. A newer copy of it, it's the same. And the cards are where? Right here. And the Mythic Tarot for me does function more as a tarot, so we're going to put this in the middle and use this as the oracle with this tarot. Okay, so this is the original Mythic Tarot. Those are the backs. Copyright 1986. And it's just, on this older style. I guess it has a core because it's bouncy. Anyway, I think this is a cool oracle to pair with this, because the cards are pretty consistent. Like, you don't need to know the stories behind these cards for them to work as tarot. And then could look up, okay, what is this card? What is this saying about the focus of this reading? And if I wanted to, I could also look in the Mythic Tarot book and see what is in there. And while this is not strictly Greek, I still feel like it works with it. It's kind of fun throwing these different cultures in there. And then if we were to end up with Six of Earth and Six of Earth, then, that might be something to think about. Like this Moon card. So this is a French And I also, French oracle, and I also have an Italian version of this. It's called something else, and it's gigantic. Like, they're so huge. And it's I think the Italian one is like the treasure chest of oracles or something like that. So it's 3 oracle decks that you could mix together, except the art style is different. I'm just going to show you real quick. Okay, so we have the sorcerers, which is kind of the witches oracle, and then we have the cats. So I feel like the art style of the cats and the witches go together enough that I will mix them. But the oracle of the gods, so it comes with these cards for each one, is very different in style and color palette than the other 2. So I don't mix this one in. But this one works with this. And there is an online, I have the bigger book with the big deck, and then there's an online PDF, and it's another project where I'm going to translate the online PDF and print it out. But I feel like, while these are not entirely complementary art styles, the color palette and of course the source material, I feel like works. And I don't really have any other oracle that I think goes with this. If you have one or have an idea, please let me know in the comments, because I'm totally open to finding something else that is more complementary with this. Okay, and then the last one is also Greek, and it is the Greek Goddess Tarot by Ellen Lorenzi Ellen Lorenzi Prince, and she's the same creator as the one for the Dark Goddess, and also did the Tarot of the Crown, and maybe something else? Can't remember. Okay, so we're straight. So it comes with a little white book, and it's on very nice cardstock. Those are the backs. Very simple. It's more of a plasticky kind of cardstock, and then it comes with these spreads. That's the title card. And this one, it kind of does work for regular tarot, but kind of not. Like, this is the 9 of arrows, and the arrows are wands, because something else is swords, arrows, and then cups, and then swords, and then grain. That's right, grain. And then we have the champion, which is the knight, and we have the companion, which is the queen. And I forget what the king... We'll find out. We will see, because we will get there. So, this is Soul Trees again. Confidence with the champion of arrows, okay. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. So we have a queen. So I think the queen is the highest. We don't have a king, because it's a Greek goddess. But Ace of Cups, that works. This is the Hermit, that works. Works for the Moon. This is the Fool. Star works. That works. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles and a baby in the fire. So, you know, glad we didn't get celebration with that. So I mean, it can work for me as a tarot, but there's a lot of mental gymnastics that goes on here. At least the guidebook is short and sweet, so I have used it because I don't have to read, you know, a whole chapter of a book. And this works okay. I might want to find something better that goes with this, but I don't know what that would be right now. Open to suggestions if you want to share in the comments below. If you have any ideas what pairs nicely with this. Okay. Okay, so that was all what I would call myths and legends. We still have like mythical creatures, which will be one, and I have like fairy tale, storybook one that'll be another video. A lot of videos still to do for this. So thanks for watching. Take care of yourself and have a nice day. Bye.